Hey there everybody, I had a subscriber ask me how to set up your old iPhone as a webcam for your Neptune Apex Fusion video. All right. So I'm going to give you the step-by-step on how to do that. It's super confusing just because I am not a tech guy. I don't understand routers or port forwarding, but I was able to figure it out. So let me show you what I did. Okay, first of all, you need to get your old iPhone. This is an iPhone 4. It works absolutely perfectly for this, all right? What you do is you go to the App Store and you download this app here, the bottom left, IP Camera. And it basically turns your phone into a webcam, okay? So you go ahead and you download that program. You're gonna open it up. I'm gonna move it off to the screen just because I don't want you to see the IP address of this, okay? So, and here it is, okay? And I'm hiding the IP address down at the bottom. I don't really know about security, but I don't want everybody to know about IP address. But basically, it is going to give you an address down on the bottom, if you can see right there, okay? That is the IP address for this phone, okay? So if you were to just go online and type in that IP address, you'd be able to see it as long as your computer's connected to your router, right? But then once you leave your home network system, you wouldn't be able to see it. Not unless you set up port forwarding on your router. Okay, so what you need to do first then is it's going to just come out with a standard IP address down here at the bottom, right? But you want to set up port forwarding. So what you're going to do is you're going to go, first of all, to your settings, okay? And you're going to scroll down to the bottom here and you're going to click on your IP camera, and I'm again going to hide it. Sorry, I'm hiding it so you don't know what mine is. You go down to IP camera, you scroll down to the bottom, okay, down to network port, right? And all you do is you assign it a number. So you go ahead, you click on it, okay, and it's going to bring up number options, and you just choose a high number. People recommend setting up something that's 5 digits, okay, and it can be anything you want, okay, and it's really important that you know what that number is. So once you set up that number, whatever you want it to be, then when you go back and you clock in, you open up your IP camera, okay, the last numbers that I'm going to be hiding again over here, the last numbers are going to be the numbers that you added. Okay, so now you have your IP address all set and ready to do port forwarding. Okay, so I'm going to come back here in a second and I'm going to show you how to do port forwarding. Okay, part 2 is setting up your router. Okay, so here's my router. It's TP-Link. It's nothing fancy. Let's see if I can show it to you. Okay, if you flip to the bottom of your router or the side of your router, okay, you're going to look, and it's going to have a web address, and here it is: tplinklogin.net, username and password. Okay, you're going to use this to log in to access your router so you can set up port forwarding. Okay, so that being said, I'm now going to go back over and we are going to set up the routing. So I've already logged in to TP-Link. Let me just lower this camera down a little bit. Sorry about this. So I've already gone ahead and entered that address, and I've logged in to TP-Link. Okay, now you go over here to the left-hand side and you click on forward. All right, forwarding virtual server down here. And then it's going to be add or modify a virtual server. Okay, so what you do is this, for the service port number, if you remember when we set up on our iPhone, when we logged into the settings, we typed in that number on port forwarding. So remember we went in here. Okay, we went in here, we went down to settings, clicked on iCamera, and then we went all the way to the very bottom here to the network port. We typed in our number, okay? So let's say you chose the number 1234, okay? You add it into the service port. You can leave internal port blank because it's the same. And then your IP address, and I changed this IP address. This is the IP address of your camera, okay? So that number that shows up on the bottom here, so when you go ahead and open up your camera, the number that shows up at the very, very bottom, okay, right there, is the number you're going to put in, okay? But you're going to leave off the last numbers, and those are the numbers that you added in the settings. So normally this would be like 999/1234, but you leave that off. You just put in the numbers minus the last numbers that you added. Okay, then you can just set it for TCP enabled. That's all you need to do. Okay, you click save, and now your port is set up, but you're still not done. Okay, so I'm going to come back and show you the last step you need to do before your iPhone is going to work. Okay, so the last step is, and I'm going to hide this again, sorry everybody. You need to open up your web browser and you need to type in, what is my IP address? And the number I'm hiding here is my public IP address, okay? So you're going to write down that number, right? Then you're going to open up your Apex Fusion, okay? And here's the camera right down here. You're going to go ahead and click on the settings. And you are going to set up a new one. So I've already set mine up. So I'm going to click on Edit, okay? And I'm going to show you what comes up. So this comes up. You can name whatever you want. You're the manager of it. This is what pops up, the type. It's an image, motion JPEG. Okay, now the URL you put in here, you do not put in the URL from your phone. Okay, you put in the URL from your computer. So this isn't my actual URL, right? I changed it a little bit so you wouldn't know. So you put in the URL, and then at the end, okay, you do a colon, and then you put in that whatever that number was you created in the app. You know, I said mine was 1234. You do colon 1234/live, okay? And that's it. That's all you have to do. And you go ahead and click OK. I'm going to hit cancel because I don't want that set up because I already have it set up correctly. Now you're good to go. Okay, but there's a couple things you need to consider. One, the IP address, right, on your computer is likely not static. It's likely going to change every couple months. So when everything stops working, you're going to want to probably go up here and troubleshoot, and you're going to want to type in again, what is your IP address? And then you're going to go back into Apex Fusion, edit, and you're going to change the number, right, to make sure it matches your IP address. Also, whenever you log out and log back into IP camera, the IP address of your phone may actually change, right? And so if that changes, that's when you have to go back into your TP-Link. Sorry, I don't want to show everybody what my actual number is. All right, and you're going to have to update the phone in here. All right, I hope that makes sense. It's super confusing for me anyways. Just remember that you have two separate IP addresses, okay? You use the IP address from your phone, and you use that to set up your port forwarding in your router. You use your IP address from your computer to set up everything in Apex Fusion, and you just add a colon. You add whatever numbers you chose for your port forwarding on your phone, /live. Okay, I hope that helps. Hope it wasn't too confusing. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, good luck.